I was dead on my feet after a 12-hour shift at the lumberyard. My back ached. My shirt was soaked in sweat, and I just wanted 5 minutes of silence before heading home. I climbed into my truck, cranked the AC, and let my head fall back against the seat. Out of habit, I pulled out my phone and opened Facebook. First thing on the feed was a post from Gina, my fiancée. We'd been together 4 years. She was 28, working part-time at a diner and calling herself an aspiring actress. Whatever that meant in a town like ours. I was 31, working nonstop managing inventory and fixing other people's screw-ups. I figured she posted another headshot or some quote about chasing dreams. Instead, it was a photo of her curled up on a couch with her so-called acting coach. His arm was around her like they were already living together. The caption said, "Sometimes you have to hurt someone to find your truth. I'm done hiding who I am." I stared at it for a solid minute before I even blinked. I scrolled through the comments, heart emojis, clapping gifs, her little acting clique hyping her up. Not a single person mentioning me. Like I never existed. For years of my life just gone. She didn't even have the balls to talk to me. Just dropped that garbage post like it was an ad for a yoga retreat. I didn't cry. I didn't message her. I didn't comment. I just sat there, chest tight, staring at her face next to his like I hadn't just paid our rent that morning and filled up her gas tank yesterday because she was too stressed to deal with money. Then I started the truck and drove straight to Logan's place. He lived 10 minutes away, had a pull-out couch, and wouldn't ask 100 questions. When I walked in, he just nodded, handed me a beer, and turned the game on. I didn't go back to our apartment that night, or the next, or ever. The next morning, I got up early and drove straight to the apartment. I figured she'd be out rehearsing or at brunch with one of her fake deep theater friends. The place was quiet when I pulled up. Her car was gone. Good. I let myself in and locked the door behind me. I didn't waste time. I went straight for the stuff that mattered, my tool chest, my work boots from the back closet, the laptop I used for invoices, my box of tax folders. I took the charger but left her tangled mess of cords. The photos on the fridge, the magnets from those random couples trips, all stayed right there. Same with the candles she scattered around like a 12-year-old witch and the stupid dream catcher that kept falling off the bedroom door. She could keep the pottery bowls and whatever cheap crystals she bought at that farmer's market last spring. I didn't want any of it. I pulled down the old shoebox from the closet shelf. My dad's coin collection. I'd almost forgotten it was there. He gave it to me before he passed. Every coin in its sleeve, labeled in his handwriting. Gina once told me it was clutter. I zipped it into my backpack. Took 2 trips to get everything down to the truck. I didn't stop to look around or say goodbye to the place. It didn't feel like home anymore. Just 4 walls and a bad memory. I drove straight to the leasing office. The woman behind the desk remembered me. I explained I wanted to give my 30-day notice and remove someone from the file. She pulled up the info and nodded. "You're the only leaseholder," she said. "It's just a form. We'll update it today." I signed it without even reading the fine print. She offered a sympathetic smile. I didn't return it. I hit the parking lot and sat in the truck for a minute, engine off, just thinking. I'd already heard the warehouse in New Camden needed help. Smaller town about 50 miles out. I wouldn't have to see anyone who knew me or her. No awkward run-ins at grocery stores or gas stations. Just fresh air and silence. I called the manager there and asked about the transfer. "We've been needing someone solid. You ready to start Monday?" he asked. "Yeah, I'm done here," I said. By the time I got back to Logan's place, I'd packed what little I had left. Clothes, tools, gear. That was it. I'd lived with her for over 3 years and walked out with 5 duffel bags and a folding toolbox. I stared at my phone for a while. No texts from her. No missed calls. Like she hadn't even noticed I was gone. Fine. I opened a blank message and typed, "Saw your post. You're free. Your stuff's still at the apartment." I hit send. Then I blocked her number. Blocked her on Facebook, Instagram, Gmail, hell, even Venmo. Anything I could think of. I sat back and looked out at Logan's tiny backyard. Cold wind rolling over the fence. No noise but the trucks passing on the main road. It didn't feel good, but it felt final. Didn't take long. By that evening, Gina realized she was blocked. The calls started coming in to Logan first. He was outside grilling when his phone buzzed. He looked down, frowned, and held it out toward me. Guess who? I didn't say a word. He silenced it. Then she started in on my sister, Rachel. Called 3 times in an hour. Left voicemails. Then tried texting like nothing had happened. Hey, can you tell your brother to call me? We need to talk. This is serious. Rachel sent me a screenshot and just wrote, "She's lost her damn mind." I told her to ignore it. She didn't. Next call. She picked up and said, "You humiliated my brother on Facebook and now you want sympathy? Get bent." Then she blocked her. Next day, my mom got dragged in. Gina didn't even bother pretending to be nice. Just launched into this big speech about how I was unstable, how I'd abandoned her in a crisis, and how I needed mental help. My mom hung up mid-sentence. Then her mom called my mom. Same performance. Voice cracking, acting like I was some broken man spiraling out of control. Said Gina was worried for my safety, like I hadn't just calmly packed my crap and left. My mom left me a voicemail after. "I'm staying out of this, but I know what this is." She's spinning it. Just be smart. She wasn't wrong. Meanwhile, Gina started posting vague garbage on Facebook. Stuff like, "New chapters are scary but necessary," and "God gives his toughest battles to the most sensitive hearts." One post was just a black screen with a caption, "Tight budgets make tough decisions." Logan's girlfriend, Tara, kept me updated. She sent screenshots of Gina listing her designer purses on Facebook Marketplace. One said, "Retail $420, selling for $150. Bought with love, letting go with peace." Tara added, "Didn't you buy her that one?" I had. Birthday gift. A Coach bag she cried over when I surprised her with it. Then the tone of Gina's posts changed. The inspirational quotes dried up. The captions got bitter. "So tired of struggling alone. Some people don't appreciate loyalty until it's gone. The cost of living is disgusting and I'm doing my best, so don't judge." She tried to sell a necklace I gave her. Sterling silver, custom engraving on the back. I didn't say a word. Just watched the price drop from $200 to $50 in 3 days. People stopped commenting. You could tell she was losing the attention she thought she'd get. Then one day, I noticed something missing in her stories. No more acting coach. He used to show up all the time, behind-the-scenes rehearsal clips, half-naked selfies she tagged him in, all that. Then suddenly, nothing. Just her, alone, doing healing work, and eating takeout on the floor of our old apartment. Logan texted me, "You think he ghosted her?" I wrote back, "Probably realized she's not worth the drama." Tara confirmed it later. "Her vibe's off. She's trying to look unbothered, but it's giving sad." I didn't feel happy about it. I wasn't even angry anymore. It just felt pathetic. She set fire to her life for a fling that didn't even make it a month. And now the smoke was choking her. 2 mornings later, my phone lit up with an unknown number. I almost ignored it, but something told me to pick up. "This is Amanda from Maple Grove Leasing," the voice said. "We need to verify some information about your apartment." I leaned back in the truck seat. "What's going on?" She hesitated. "A woman named Gina showed up demanding to see the lease. She said she was a tenant and had rights to the unit." I laughed once, short and dry. "She's not on the lease. Never was. Everything's in my name." "That's what our records show," Amanda said. "But she's insisting. We just need you to confirm." "Did she ever pay rent directly?" "No. She sent me small Venmos, groceries, Wi-Fi, maybe $30 here and there. Nothing else." Amanda's voice softened but stayed professional. "Thank you. We'll note that." She also tried to apply for the apartment solo but was denied due to credit and income. I shook my head. "Sounds about right. Just so you know, if she comes back and causes a disturbance, call us. We'll handle it." "I'll be out by the end of the month," I said. "Already filed notice." After I hung up, I opened my laptop and started apartment hunting near the new warehouse. Found a 1-bedroom for $950 a month. Nothing fancy, but clean, quiet, close to work. No shared walls with strangers. I sent in my application and got an approval within 2 hours. I sat staring at the confirmation email. Relief and anger mixed together. She'd really tried to squat in a place she never paid for. That's when the next hit came. My supervisor, Dave, walked up to me mid-shift, a confused look on his face. "Hey, you okay?" I wiped my hands on a rag. "Yeah." "Why?" He held up his phone. "Got a call from some woman named Gina. Said you're unstable, might hurt yourself. Asked us to check on you." I felt the heat rise in my neck. "She called here? HR wants to talk to you," he said. "They're not worried, but, protocol." I followed him into the office. HR rep named Chris was waiting with a notepad. He tried to look serious, but his eyes were already rolling. "Okay," Chris started. "We got a call claiming you're experiencing some sort of mental health crisis. Is there anything we should know?" I pulled out my phone, opened Gina's Facebook, scrolled to the post with her and the acting coach, and turned it around. "This is the woman who called you. This is what she posted 3 weeks ago." Chris smirked. "Got it. She's mad I left her. That's all this is," I said flatly. "She's not my emergency contact. She's not my anything." He nodded. "We'll log it officially in case she keeps calling, but you're fine. You want us to block her number from our phones?" "Please do," I said. He wrote something down. "Consider it handled." Dave clapped me on the shoulder as I left. "Hell of a mess, man. You're doing the right thing, though." I walked back out to the loading dock, the noise of forklifts echoing around me. My hands were steady. My head was clear. She could call whoever she wanted. I was already gone. By the weekend, she'd gone full soap opera. Logan texted me first. "Dude, check Facebook. She's spiraling." I opened the app, already bracing for something stupid. Right at the top of my feed was a giant block of text from Gina, white background, black font, like it was a damn legal notice. "Leaving an emotionally controlling relationship is the bravest thing I've ever done. Financial abuse is real. If you've ever felt trapped by someone who controlled your housing, your money, your future, just know, you are not alone." She had the nerve to act like she was some victim of me. Comments were a mixed bag. Her little circle was back. "You're so strong. Proud of you. Take your power back." But mixed in were people asking questions. "Didn't your name not even on the lease? Thought you said you guys were fine a month ago? Wait, didn't you cheat?" Those started disappearing fast. Every time I refreshed the post, more were gone. She was scrubbing anything that didn't fit the poor Gina storyline. Then Tara sent me the GoFundMe link. "Help Gina heal. Support a survivor's new start. $5,000. That's what she wanted. Said it was for basic needs, relocation, and trauma therapy. Like she hadn't been living rent-free while I worked 60-hour weeks to keep us afloat. At the time Tara sent it, the campaign had $112. I clicked on the donations. Her aunt gave $50. Her mom gave $60. That was it. She posted it to every platform she had. Instagram bio, Facebook story, even her Twitter header. And still, nobody bit. Her clout ran out the second people remembered what she actually did. That's when Logan hit me with the real cherry on top. "Bro, look at this." He sent me a screenshot from Instagram. It was the acting coach, shirtless in some hotel mirror with a different girl kissing his neck. Caption said, "Surround yourself with what feeds your soul." Gina wasn't tagged. I pulled up his profile. Not a single trace of her. Not even in his old posts. Like she never existed. "She got played," Logan said. "Guess he was rehearsing with someone else," I replied. It was honestly embarrassing. She nuked a stable life, posted a whole announcement about finding her truth, and the guy ghosted her before the smoke cleared. One by one, the friend circle started peeling away. Girls who used to flood her comments with "Queen" and "Yes girl" started going quiet. One mutual friend messaged Tara asking what really happened. She told her the truth about the lease, the post, the acting coach, all of it. That friend blocked Gina the next day. More followed. She went from posting selfies and song lyrics to random motivational crap with no likes. Protect your peace. Healing isn't pretty. Better alone than controlled. Yeah, Tell that to your landlord. You could see it in the photos too. Less makeup, fewer filters, blank white walls in the background, always sitting on the floor. I wasn't gloating. I didn't share the screenshots or tell people to pick sides. I didn't have to. People weren't buying it anymore. Reality was finally showing through her Instagram aesthetic. And it wasn't pretty. I was dead tired after a long shift, sweat down my back, fingers stained with grease from fixing a busted pallet jack. I clocked out, grabbed my lunch cooler, and headed toward the lot where my truck was parked. That's when I heard it, her voice. Evan. I froze mid-step. My stomach dropped. She was standing by the chain-link fence near the side entrance, just past the dumpsters. Hoodie on, hair in a messy bun, sunglasses even though the sun was already down. She looked rough, like she hadn't slept or maybe hadn't stopped crying for days. What the hell are you doing here? I asked, walking faster toward my truck. Just, can we talk? She said, rushing up beside me. Please. Nope. Evan. Just wait a second. She reached out, touched my arm. I stepped back. She blinked fast, voice shaking. I made one mistake. One. And you ghosted me like I was nothing. I looked her dead in the eyes. You posted a picture snuggled up to some other guy with a quote about hurting people to find your truth. That wasn't a mistake. That was a choice. Her mouth opened like she had a comeback, but nothing came out. It wasn't like that, she finally mumbled. He wasn't even serious. It was part of the scene. You know how acting gets sometimes. Lines blur. You really gonna stand here and tell me that was rehearsal? I said, half laughing. You blew up our whole life for a guy who didn't even stick around. That's not a blur. That's you being selfish. She started crying. Real tears now. Makeup smudged, lips shaking. You just left. You didn't even give me a chance to explain. You abandoned me. No, I said, calm and flat. I freed you. You said you were done hiding. I helped you finish the job. She stepped in closer, dropped her voice. I'm not okay, Evan. I haven't been eating. I can't sleep. Can we go somewhere? Just talk. Please. I shook my head. We're done. You made sure of that. She sniffled, looked down at the pavement like she'd lost something. Then her eyes snapped back up, voice rising. I loved you. I gave you everything. You think anyone else is gonna care about you the way I did? From the corner of my eye, I saw my boss, Dave, step out from the side door. He looked at me, then at her, then crossed his arms. I think it's time you left, ma'am, he called out. She ignored him, took one last desperate step toward me. You're gonna regret this. I know you are. I opened my truck door, tossed my cooler inside, and looked straight at her. That's the point. Dave stayed by the door until she finally turned and walked off. Still crying, still muttering to herself. I didn't watch her go. I got in, slammed the door, and started the engine. As I pulled out of the lot, I caught a glimpse of her in the mirror, just standing there in the dark, arms crossed tight like she was trying to hold herself together. She wanted me wrecked, wanted me begging, wanted a show, but I gave her nothing, just silence and the sight of me driving away. 2 days after she showed up at my job, I got another call from Maple Grove Leasing. Hi, Mr. Rayner, the rep said. We've got a situation. Gina's still occupying the unit. She's refusing to leave. I shut my eyes. She was never on the lease. You already confirmed that. We did, yes. But now she's claiming you illegally evicted her. Said she was a tenant with rights and that you abandoned the property. She's squatting, I said flat. You want to press charges. I'll show up in court with every Venmo receipt and the lease in my name. The rep sighed. We've started formal eviction proceedings. Just wanted to keep you informed in case she tries anything. Great. An hour later, my supervisor Dave popped his head in while I was loading a shipment. Guess who called again? He said. I didn't even ask. Her mom. Same crap. Said you're not mentally stable and that Gina's in crisis. HR told her if she calls again, they'll file a workplace harassment claim. Good, I muttered. About time. It didn't stop there. Tara sent me a screenshot of a group chat Gina used to be in. She was asking her old friends if they could pool together a little rent help just for this month. Used the words desperate and starting over like they were magic. One girl responded, "Where's the acting coach? Thought you moved in with him." That message got left on read. Another wrote, "Didn't you say Evan kicked you out illegally?" Then someone else dropped, "So you didn't cheat?" That post didn't mean what we all saw it meant. Next thing you know, Gina left the group chat. Tara called it a mass unfollowing event. By the end of the day, Gina's friend count had dropped by almost 40 people. I didn't gloat, but I wasn't shocked either. She'd built her whole identity online. Boho aesthetics, actress in bloom, girl boss quotes and latte pics. Now it was crumbling. Tara heard through someone's sister that Gina was sleeping on a futon in some friend's 400-square-foot studio. No, see, one shared bathroom, sleeping under a neon beer sign like a college dropout. Her once-a-week yoga classes? Gone. The overpriced smoothies she swore by? Gone. The manifesting journals and healing crystals? Probably stuffed in a tote bag under that futon. I saw her page that night. Nothing new posted. Last story was 3 days old. A blurry picture of takeout and the words, "starting from scratch" in shaky white text. Even her GoFundMe stopped moving. Still under $200. She wasn't adapting well. For the first time in years, no one was bailing her out. Not me, not her mom, not the followers she lied to. The illusion cracked, and what was underneath couldn't carry the weight. And I wasn't coming back to lift it. The new town felt right from the start. Quiet, slower pace. A small warehouse district, a couple of mom-and-pop shops, and a barbecue place that smelled like heaven the second you turned onto the main road. I got a place near work. A one-bedroom just off the highway with thick trees in the backyard and enough space to park my truck. The neighbors didn't try to talk to me unless I waved first. It was a good change. I finally bought that welder I'd been eyeing for months. Felt like a small victory. I'd wanted to try metalwork for years but always put it off. Mostly because Gina never liked the idea. Said it was too messy. Too chaotic. I set up a little corner in the garage. Started with scrap metal. First few pieces were a disaster. Too sharp, too crooked. But it felt good to make something. To turn a pile of junk into something solid. Something I could stand back and look at without feeling stupid. Through the grapevine, I heard Gina had found a job at a call center. She wasn't posting nearly as much now. But the occasional rant still showed up. Something about toxic men and how she'd wasted her time on the wrong guy. I didn't know whether to laugh or feel sorry for her. Then one day, my sister Rachel messaged me with a screenshot. It was from Gina's mom again. "Evan, I can't believe you've left Gina like this. She's in therapy and you owe for the bills. She's broken and struggling. If you don't step up, we'll take this further." I didn't even read it all before I texted Rachel back. "You should block her. I don't owe them anything." Rachel was quicker than me. "Done." She shot back with a screenshot of the response she'd sent. "Your daughter's decisions aren't my responsibility. I'm not funding her therapy because she didn't know how to keep her legs closed." I smiled a little. Rachel wasn't a fan of Gina's even before all this. She'd been telling me to leave her for months but didn't say, "I told you so." She wasn't that kind of person. Not long after that, the apartment complex called. The eviction had been officially filed against Gina, and it was now on her record. She'd been trying to spin it as some unfair eviction, but the leasing office confirmed everything. Her lies didn't hold up. A week later, I got a letter in the mail. It was from some lawyer Gina's mom must have found. They were demanding I reinstate her as a tenant and pay for mental health damages and wrongful eviction. It was laughable. I forwarded it to the legal department at work. They laughed too. Said it was just a last-ditch attempt from her side and that they'd take care of it. I never even had to respond. They handled it all. I didn't hear from Gina directly anymore. At least not in a way that mattered. She was too busy posting sad, cryptic messages on her social media, going on about finding herself and letting go of toxic relationships. It made me wonder if she'd ever admit it to herself, if the reality would ever hit her that she was the toxic one, that she'd burned down everything we had just to play out some fantasy. And when that failed, she couldn't handle the fallout. But I wasn't part of the wreckage anymore. One morning, about a month after I'd moved, I got a LinkedIn notification. Gina viewed your profile. I didn't care enough to check it immediately, but something about it nagged at me. She hadn't messaged, just looked. I opened the app and saw the second notification. Gina viewed your profile. I didn't give a damn. Then, a few days later, I posted about my promotion, something small, just a note about how I was moving into more responsibility at the new warehouse. I wasn't trying to rub it in anyone's face. I was proud of myself, and for once, I didn't hide it. Gina viewed your post. This time I smiled. Not because I cared, but because I realized what she was really looking for. She wasn't curious about me. She wasn't trying to get back together. She was waiting for a breakdown, a reason to jump in and say, "See? I knew you'd regret it." She wanted me to be a mess, to fall apart. But I wasn't. At the time, I was sitting in my garage, welding a small sculpture I'd been working on for weeks. Metal bits scattered across the concrete. I'd spent the last few hours lost in the buzz of the welder, the heat of the torch, and the steady rhythm of my hands moving. Felt good. Better than anything Gina or her drama ever gave me. When I told my therapist about Gina checking my LinkedIn profile, he said something that stuck. She didn't want you back, Evan. She wanted you broken. She wanted you to fight for her. She needed to see you come crawling, a mess on the floor. When you walked away without a fight, that was the worst thing you could do to her ego. You took her power. I didn't need to hear that twice. I understood it now. I'd never given her the meltdown she expected. No screaming, no begging, just silence, just walking away. I wasn't dating. I didn't want to. The thought of getting involved with someone again felt like a chore. I was content in my own space, working, welding, sleeping well, eating whatever I felt like cooking. My life was mine, not Gina's, not anyone's. I didn't need revenge. I didn't need a show. The best revenge was leaving her to face her own reality, to see the wreckage of her own making. I had nothing to prove. Sometimes the loudest thing you can say is nothing at all.